not very good. He straddled his car, straddled the edge of the track. And if they've got these little things that are kind of like speed bumps that you see in your streets, but they're a little wider, and that would not have helped his time any, because at the back of these cars they've got a metal block. If you watch Formula One, you'll see sparks coming out the back of the car all the time, and it's that metal block stopping it, the whole bottom of the car bottoming out, because the bottom of the car is a big part of the aerodynamics, and so they have this metal block right at the very back that stops that, and it scrapes along. And in that case, that metal block scraped along that little bump, and that would have slowed the car down dramatically. As we watch Tsunoda coming in, and the stewards are going to take a look at his car. They're going, wait a minute, why is this car going so fast? But anyway, right now, we still got 9 minutes to go in Q2. But right now, the elimination zone is Lawson, Albon, Tsunoda, Russell, and Hamilton. That's Russell hasn't. He's just now on what we call a flying lap to try and put in a time period. It does not. Excuse me. It does not look like he's got anything to write home about right now. Doesn't look like he's making up any time on any of the top guys. Oh, that's a surprise. He has just turned in the fastest time for Sector 1. Alonso is in the pit. Whoa, George Russell came very, very close to wiping out right there. Very close. Let's see how that affects his time in the second sector here. Well, by the way, here in Austin, Texas, we had rain this week. I think that's first rain we've had since the beginning or the end of May. So, of course, we've got a lot of humidity here, which, of course, is why my allergies are acting up a little more than usual this week. But anyway, we welcome the rain. We have a pond out here out in the back side of my house, and I am looking right into it from the podcast studio, and the pond was dry. I've been in the 13 years I've been here, 12 years, I guess, I've never seen the pond dry, but it was completely dry. And in fact, let's see, George Russell did lose some time, but he now has turned in the fastest time at 1:31.7. But we do, folks, we have an upset. We have just crazy stuff at Singapore. Max Verstappen will not make it to Q3 this year. I can't remember the last time. In fact, neither of the Red Bull cars will make it to Q3. That has got to be the first in a long time. Now, I think that in fairness, Verstappen, of course, got held up by got held up by the yellow flag. But at the beginning of the podcast, I said we could see some surprises, and surprises we have. So both Verstappen and Perez are out of qualifying. Neither one will compete. So Verstappen will start in the 11th position, and Perez right now at 13. So let's see, as Verstappen gets out of his car, not a happy camper, but he started from 15th earlier this year and came in first. So it's not the end of the world. It's not a great place to start from, and he's obviously not a happy camper at all. But let's go over those that did make it. We've got and they just cut to a commercial break, so we will be back in just a few moments. Excuse me, Formula One fans. We are going into a Q3 session to determine who's going to be on pole without either of the Red Bulls. A real surprise, and during the break, they were doing some replays of both Red Bull cars, and it appears that they are really suffering from grip. That they don't have enough downforce, or the setup of the cars for this track is way off base. So neither Perez there lost it and spun out twice on that final lap for trying to make it into Q3. 132. Yeah, I think the next lap, judging by, they have a map, by the way, on the TV. You can see where the cars are in relation to the start-finish line. And I'm going to say that, yeah, they will not. This will be this outlap that they're all on. So now we are about to see, as they come across the start-finish line, some of them, not all of them are there yet, but as each one comes across the start-finish line, this will be the lap that decides what position they're going to be in starting the race tomorrow. So we're about to find out in the next 1 minute and 30 seconds who it will be will get the honor of saying, I won pole position at the Singapore Grand Prix in 2023. And Singapore time, by the way, right now, it's like 10:15, 10:30 at night. It's about as cool as it's going to get. Around 2 o'clock in the morning, it gets a little cooler, but for the most part, it's about as cool as it's going to get. And so as we watch the different cameras picking up different cars as they're coming through for their one chance at making pole position. It's interesting that they've all left it so late. Maybe more of the cars are struggling with keeping the cars on the track than what we're seeing. Maybe it's not just a Red Bull thing. Maybe it's all of them. But watching the McLaren here, it looks like that car is absolutely glued to the track. But he's not making up any time. Right now, looking at the times, I would say the guy that's going to take pole position is going to be Carlos Sainz again. So that could change. Something could go wrong. But that, judging by first sector times, Carlos Sainz is going to take the pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix. And of course, we'll know here in about 30 seconds as most of the cars come into the final sector. But looking at the speeds, well, Leclerc's just turned in the fastest middle sector time. So as we watch Sainz come across, and I predicted a high 130. He's come in at 130.9. And Norris came in at a 131.2. Just 0.2 of a second behind that. So right now, that's if in fact the Ferraris now have just taken first and second, with Leclerc just 0.007 of a second behind his teammate. Russell might get there. Let's see, who did they just pull in right now? Magnussen right now is in fourth. Alonso is in fifth. Right now, Lando Norris, in fact, though, that's very interesting. George Russell just took away that front row position from Leclerc. Hamilton's come in at number 5. So I think, we got 2 more cars here to come across. But of course, Ferrari very happy. They're on the 2 front rows. So that the 2 front rows are going to be, because I don't think Hülkenberg or we've got Hülkenberg, Alonso, Magnussen still to put in times, but I don't think any one of them are going to knock off Carlos Sainz as the crowd leaves. So yes, we can say that Carlos Sainz has taken his second pole of the week of the race season. So he's enjoying some success right now. In fact, compared to his number 1 driver, he's doing very, very well. So let's run it down. It's Carlos Sainz, George Russell, followed by Leclerc and Norris, followed by Hamilton and Magnussen. So again, George Russell outdoing his teammate Lewis Hamilton. And oh, by the way, talking of news, I forgot to tell you about this really, really important tidbit of news. So, I've been saying that I believe that Lewis Hamilton has lost it being the one thing that makes Max Verstappen, that made Lewis Hamilton, that makes these drivers what they are. It's the one ingredient. It's between their ears, and it's the one ingredient that determines where they're going to finish in a race. So Jackie Stewart came out this last week and agreed with me. He believes that Lewis Hamilton may never win another race. He believes that Lewis Hamilton has lost it. So you didn't just hear it from me, folks. You heard it from me first. But so Jackie Stewart, who I think probably is as good a judge of driver mindsets as anybody, believes that Lewis Hamilton has also lost it. So, and he said, although he's got a 2-year contract, he would not be surprised to see that Lewis Hamilton does not finish out that contract. So anyway, that's the qualifying session for the Singapore Grand Prix. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Synology, a co-location private cloud, public cloud data center in Austin, Texas at Synology.com. GiveSendGo, a crowdfunding entity for folks and people that have come out on hard times, and incidentally they also are funding for the fires in Hawaii. So if you feel like donating to help those folks that lost everything, the fires in Hawaii, please go to GiveSendGo.com. That's GiveSendGo.com. And of course, Moms for Liberty, trying to encourage and trying to change how and what our kids are being taught in the schools today. And out of all of our sponsors, they are probably the most important, and they're doing the most valuable work. Where there's lots of technology companies, there's lots of crowdfunding companies, there's lots of all different kinds of these companies. There's only one Moms for Liberty. I think there's another couple of entities out there that is trying, but Moms for Liberty's got like over 200 chapters, or close to 200 chapters throughout the United States, and they are doing really, really good work. So please go out and support momsforliberty.org. That's momsforliberty.org. And don't forget, welcome Formula One fans. Good morning. It is 7 a.m. in Austin, Texas. It is about 9 p.m. in Singapore, and we are getting ready for the Singapore Grand Prix. This is the Formula One News Hour, and I'm your host, Jonathan Steele. So we're getting ready for the lineup here. The big surprise, of course, in Singapore today is that neither of the Red Bull cars are close to the front of the grid. In fact, they're right in the middle of the field. It looks like it's hard to tell because it's dark in Singapore right now. It's dark here in Austin, Texas as well. It's coming up 7 a.m., but the sun is coming up. So we can't see the weather, but from what I've been watching so far, it appears to be the normal Singapore weather. Hot, muggy, a lot of the humidity is very high, let's put it this way. This track is just over 3 miles long. It's 62 laps. There are 19 turns. It's pretty flat. It's actually kind of through the streets of Singapore. That they have for this year. They've taken out a couple of the turns, and it's actually reduced the lap time by close to 10 seconds. So they decided that they would create another part on the track for overtaking. So they took out some turns that are right along the edge of the water there. By the time they make the turn at the end of the straightaway here. So predictions, I still predict that Max will win this race, and we're getting ready to go. And 3, 4, 5, and they are off. And Carlos Sainz got a wonderful start, and so did Charles Leclerc. They put George Russell back into third place. And let's see, somebody had to take the slide off. And Max Verstappen is already, as we thought he might, made up 2 or 3 positions here. But a terrible start for George Russell. I don't know what happened there, but he certainly lost some positions. Let's see if I can see where Max is. Well, Max probably didn't get the start that I thought he did, or either that or he lost it again. But Hamilton is just about to lose his position to Lando Norris. Max did. Max is up to about 6th right now. So he did get the kind of start that we expected that he would. But a wonderful start for both Ferraris. As we watch, we just watched the car of Liam. Was it Liam? All right, so let's look. The race is really settling in now. I said lap 15, but I don't know. Max is really struggling to get past Magnussen. And I'm watching right now that DRS is enabled, and Max is going to go past Magnussen right now, and he's taking him on the inside through the corner. So he's now up to 8th position. So 2 seconds, yeah, getting past Hamilton might be a struggle. Let's see. It's very interesting. Singapore's, if you ever get a chance and you put Singapore on your bucket list. What's really interesting, I'm just watching, is Sergio Perez has made up no places at all, while his teammate goes past. Or was that no, that was Perez. So I got to take it back now. He just made up one position, going past Oscar Piastri, but still, and he's made up one position. His teammate has made up 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. So, presumably against much better cars than that one. So, anyway, back to Singapore. If you ever get a chance, you should take a week and spend it out in that part of the world. Very interesting. Once you get to Singapore, you can go down to Jakarta. You can people also use it to go down to Northern Australia. Also very nice. You hop across the bridge and you're in Malaysia. So there's all kinds of really, really interesting things to do quickly in that part of the world. We always talk about going to Europe and stuff like that, which a lot of people do, but more and more people are going out to the Far East. But if you haven't got it on your bucket list, it might be a nice thing to do. Because the advertisers pay a lot of money to put their logos and things on these cars, and for them, not to get that TV time is really a big deal. As we're on board right now with Esteban Ocon trying to fight Alonso for the 6th position. I don't think that he'll get past Alonso, but you never know. Alonso, although he had a good week last week, he's struggled the last few weeks as we watch Verstappen now coming up behind Esteban Ocon. So he's going to be taking these two guys here. Let's see. He's still 1.3 seconds behind. So he's just out of DRS range, but it won't be long before he is in DRS range and getting past. At the bottom end, not too much is happening. We've still got the Williams cars in 15th and 16th, and the Alfa Romeos in 17th and 18th. I'm really surprised that one of those Williams cars is not further up there in points position challenging. And talking of that, one of the things they were talking about on the pre-race festivities is whether Logan Sargent will have his ride next year. He has not scored any points at all for his team. Alex Albon has scored all the points. But the young Liam Lawson, who is in 12th position at the moment, he started 10th, so he lost 2 places. But, he was interviewed at the beginning of the race, and he said, if I just finish the race, I'll be really happy. But that young man is showing that he can drive a Formula One car. And so there's talk about Liam Lawson replacing Logan Sargent in that Williams car, which would be sad for Logan. He's a rookie driver as well. But when you've got 2 rookies and let's face it, Liam Lawson's a real rookie, but that rookie is ahead of the other rookie, Oscar Piastri, who is down in 14th, and his teammates up in position 4. So it's going to be interesting. So that's kind of where we are. We're at lap 17, and really there's been no position changes in the last 10 laps. So what's going to happen now, folks, is pretty soon we're going to start seeing replays coming out of the Sky Sports teams as they get bored with what's going on the track, because it is in fact quite boring in that, like I say, we've had no changes of positions in 10 laps at least, maybe a little more. The only excitement has been that Lewis Hamilton had to give back that position to Lando Norris that he gained by leaving the track and cutting off the corner. So, anyway, we are watching. Who is it? It's not. It's Pierre Gasly behind Hulkenberg. Let me, George Russell, I just missed that one because I was looking at the thing, but something's going on with Mercedes. I think Hamilton, they're on the medium tires, so they're good on tires. Everybody's good on tires, with the exception of Leclerc, who's on those soft tires. He's going to have to come in fairly soon. He's got 18 laps on those tires, and those tires are good for about 15 laps. So he's doing a good job of getting the most out of those tires, but he's certainly going to have to come in and change. And maybe he's going to change at 18. Yeah, he's going to change, get as much as he can out of them, and then change to the hard tire. They were talking yesterday after qualifying that they had a spare set of medium tires. So are they going for a 2-stop strategy? Off again. Oh, Logan Sargent. It's Logan. Poor Logan. And he's got a piece hanging off his car right there. So I wonder if they're going to let him stay out with that car. The piece of the front wing, it's good advertising for Acronis, but I'm sure it's not what he wanted. But he has, in fact, knocked the front wing off that car just about altogether. And he just didn't make the turn. He went into the turn too fast and just didn't make it. So puts it into reverse, and he'll go around and get a new front wing. So that's some excitement for the day, folks. It's interesting that the stewards are letting that car stay out and come around. Obviously, he's trying to get into pit lane as sparks fly off and fly out from underneath the car with that front wing dragging on it. They have taken off the yellow flag, so the stewards are not too concerned about it. But that half that front, in fact, it's interesting because nearly the entire front wing is trapped under the car. And in fact, now they bring out the safety car just as Logan Sargent goes into the pits. So maybe, so that's good. Actually, it's good news for Logan Sargent that they brought out that safety car, because it means he can get a new front wing and he's not really going to lose that much. And they bring in Carlos Sainz. So everybody will start coming in now, I think, and change out, especially the Ferraris, because they've got those 2 tire change sets as they pop on a new front nose cone for Logan Sargent. And I'm sure they'll change his tires at the same time. They're bringing in George Russell now. So we're going to see all of them, I think, come in. Let's see if Verstappen and those guys come in or stay out. Let's see what Hannah Schmidt decides is what's going to happen for the Red Bull cars. Alonso and Ocon are in the pits, so yeah, it looks like everybody's taking this opportunity to change tires, all thanks to Logan Sargent. And Perez finds himself all the way up in 5th position now. Of course, everybody's in the pits, so they gain about 15, 16 seconds being in the pits. Verstappen now finds himself in 2nd place. And he can stay, he's on hard tires, so he can stay out there for another 20 laps. So maybe that's what he'll do. If he's on a 2-stop strategy, he can do that. So it was interesting. Carlos Sainz got in and out of the pits. You've got Albon. I don't know what's happened to Alex Albon today. He's not having a very good day. And then you've got the 2 Alfa Romeos, and then you've got, of course, Logan Sargent. So everybody is on the hard tire, with the exception of Joe Granu, and he is on medium tires. So I think we're probably looking at the order that it's going to be for a while. I don't see anybody challenging anybody, with the exception of George Russell is challenging Carlos Sainz for the lead. The thing is, does he have the car to do it? That's going to be the question. So in the pre-race interview, Max Verstappen said that if he could get up into the top 5 today, that he would be happy. He said the car setup, the car was just did not like that track at all. And so he's in 4th place right now. But Hamilton's got DRS, and he's just 0.3 of a second behind. Black and white flag for car 20, forcing another driver off the track. That would be Magnussen, as we watch Hamilton go past Verstappen and take over 4th place. So certainly that the Red Bulls just do not have the pace today. What changes they can make to dramatically make things better for themselves, I don't know that they can at this stage. They had all week and all weekend, and so at least they had Saturday. Today's Sunday, but they were not able to do it. And now Charles Leclerc is challenging Verstappen for that 5th position. So got to be a tough day, and it's good to have tough days. When you have tough days, you can start figuring out what do we do? Is having a bad day, which is not bad for the sport of Formula One. Because it does prove that the other teams are close enough to where if a Red Bull has a bad day, that the other teams are right there ready to snatch away that dominance on any given day. So right now, the top 5 have changed. We've got Sainz, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc. That's your top 5. The bottom 5 are Hülkenberg, Albon, Joe Granu, Valtteri Bottas, and Logan Sargent. Liam Lawson is down in 13th, but he does have DRS on Piastri, who has DRS on Gasly, who has DRS on Magnussen, who has DRS on Ocon, who has DRS on Alonso, who has DRS on Perez. So you've got 5, and you can see them on the TV. You have 5 or 6 cars, all within a car length of each other, and they've all got DRS. So nobody's going anywhere. They're stuck. They can't do anything. As we watch Alonso on the tail of Perez. So, and I believe because Perez does not have DRS, and Alonso just absolutely took off halfway across the track. He didn't gain any position, so it's not going to make any difference. But yeah, he's managing a lot. He's very slow. I guess he's trying to back us up. That's who was that? That was Hamilton talking about Leclerc. No? Anyway, so where are we right now? Leclerc's got 1.6 seconds on Verstappen. So nothing's going to happen there. What is going to happen, though, is Alonso is going to get past Perez. And when he does that, then you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Perez will be back in the 12th or 13th position, probably in about 5 or 6 laps as we come up nearly halfway on this race. Not one of the most exciting races we've had, is it, guys? But hey, you get those. Last week was a great race. So like I was just saying, sometimes you just show up and things are not your day. And at the Singapore Grand Prix, it is not a shining moment for Formula One. And maybe something with the track, because the cars are so close together as we're watching. These tires is crazy. Let me know when you think it's a good time to push. I should have 1 second of pace in hand. Carlos Sainz is saying he's not in danger of losing any time to these guys. So very interesting. A very confident Carlos Sainz might end up going from pole to podium to number 1. If what he's saying is true. Remember, yesterday I was talking about it's not that often that the pole sitter wins the races, but Carlos Sainz is confident that he will win the race today. So that's interesting to see. I'm sure Russell, Norris, and Hamilton have a little bit to say about that, but they've all kind of backed off a little bit. None of them have DRS anymore. Actually, I take that back. Russell now has got DRS on Carlos Sainz, and Hamilton's got DRS on Lando Norris. But let's see. And now Lando. So it's kind of, I guess, some gamesmanship going on there at the front. Sainz reporting he still has 1 second of pace in hand. I'm surprised he didn't say 2. All right. So Russell's team was telling him what they thought as the Red Bull cars now get ready to, they're pulling out the tires to get ready for tires for Verstappen and Perez, I'm sure. And give Perez a lot of credit. He is still held off the 3 cars, I should say 3 cars, 2 cars really, Alonso and Ocon behind it. But now Pierre Gasly has joined that group. So you've got the 2 Alpines in very good position today. So both those drivers, I believe, will make it into the points today. So that will be very, very, very good for them. And they're predicting that Verstappen and Perez will lose 28 seconds in the pit stop as we watch Ocon trying to go past. Whoa! And he's going to right there. Perez managed to hold on, but he will get him this time around. So Ocon gets past Perez, knocks him down to 8th position. Some nice driving there by Ocon, and now we've got Alonso trying to get past Perez, which they will get past him. The guy has no grip. You see his car wiggling and doing all kinds of stuff, and those other cars look like they got glue in their tires that they're stuck so nicely to the track. As we watch Alonso right now just go past him on the inside, and actually he's got better straight line speed. Of course, he had DRS, but still, Perez had DRS also. But as we watch Gasly, come on, John, who is it? Actually, it is Gasly. Gasly getting past Perez, and now they're telling Perez to box. So he's going to come in and get a set of tires, and I believe at this point, 22 laps, they're going to put the soft tires on him. But that's going to put Perez down. He's going to be down there with Bottas and Magnussen. In fact, they're already showing him in 16th. That was a beautiful pit stop, 2.3 seconds. I didn't see. Yeah, they've put the soft tire on. So he's on softs, and he's in dead last of all the running cars. Oh, I see. I was looking. There were not 20 cars that started the race. There were only 19. I kept looking and my eyes were playing tricks on me, and now they're going to pull Verstappen in for tires, and so these guys will 20 laps to go. New soft. Oh, they put medium on Perez. That's interesting. Not soft. I thought by the color of the tire. No, it was medium. Yeah. So let's see. Verstappen will come out maybe in 16th position. So maybe he can make his way back up and make it to the points in 10th, but we'll see as he comes in down through the turn to come into pit, because he's the reason that we've got it. And now we've got a yellow flag in sector 2, which means, and now it's back to green, but it would mean if it had stayed out there, we'll get a replay of what happened in sector 2. Front tires are finished. Yeah, I'm sure they are. They've just got to last another 2 laps. So just keep them going, buddy. But right now, nobody can pass anybody because everybody's got DRS, and unless they can out-corner them. But for every lap now, it's very, very difficult for George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. And whoa, is he going to get past him? Is he going to get past him? No, he's not. Is he? No, he's not. Yay, way to go, Lando. That was a great attempt by George Russell, but Lando held him off. And this is going to be it till the end of the race, which is going to help Carlos Sainz win this race by the looks of it. That's crazy, but now they're saying 3 laps to go, but they're showing 60 completed. 60, 61, oh, we're on 60. So this is exciting stuff for the end of the race, folks. It's really good. We've got Lewis Hamilton looking to decide whether he wants to be on the podium and challenging his teammate, which has opened up a gap between George Russell and Lando Norris, because Russell's got to protect from his teammate as he comes up onto Lando, but Lando's got DRS, of course. And so, yeah, what we've got that dreaded DRS train as we watch Lewis Hamilton keep poking his head out there, wanting to pass his teammate, and Russell's in more danger of being passed by his teammate than Lando Norris is about being passed by George Russell. When he nearly got past Lando, there's something clicked in his head, and he's lost that will to challenge. As everybody opens up DRS, the Carlos Sainz is doing one hell of a job out front there, holding off this crazy challenge. Looks like Perez hit Alex Albon. So where is Perez? We've got so into this we've lost track of Verstappen and Perez. Well, Verstappen's going to finish in 6th. Perez has got DRS. In fact, he's just passed Liam. Liam's going to finish where he started in 10th place. So a beautiful drive for Liam Lawson today. As we watch this battle for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, really, because nobody can get past each other because everybody's got DRS. And so, as Carlos Sainz said, this was a deliberate move between those two cars to hold off George Russell as they all come around this turn. But none of them got any better grip than the other to let the other one get past, and it looks like that the McLaren's got better straightaway speed than the Mercedes. They get out of the turns and he can pull away and put distance between himself. And Hamilton saying George needs to pick up the pace if he can, but he can't because of the DRS. Everybody's got DRS. So he can't get past him on the turns, and he doesn't have the straightaway speed to get past him on the straightaway because everybody's got DRS. So exciting stuff, and we'll be coming in to the last lap here in just about 20 seconds. will be on the final lap. So it does not look like George Russell is going. Yeah, they're on the final lap. They've all got DRS, and nobody's going to get past anybody. And they're battling as hard as they can. It's amazing. This is really good stuff. This is really what Formula One is all about. You've got 4 cars that are really just as good as each other, and 4 drivers that are just as good as each other. And for all of those tire changes, it was a great strategy. It got him up there, but it does not look like at the end of the day it was enough. Or done in enough time to give them to give them what they needed to get past into the first place. Russell will finish on the podium. Hamilton will not. And it's going to come down to what I said about 4 or 5 laps ago. Whoa, somebody just lost it. Who is that? George Russell. 1, 2, it is George Russell. Just lost it, and he will not finish on the podium, folks. He's going to finish number 16th. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. As the Ferrari of what's George saying? Well, we'll get to see it on the replay, but it's going to finish like this. It's going to finish under a yellow flag with Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, and Lewis Hamilton in that order. So, so a great day for the Ferrari and for and for the McLaren, and really. As the lady put it, and she used to be an IndyCar driver. Her name will come to me in just a moment. But she said if they didn't win, it would be a really bad day for them, and they are not going to win. And I don't know what happened to George Russell. Hopefully, they're going to show it on the replay. Verstappen ended up 5th. Carlos Perez, Checo Perez ended up in 8th. Liam Lawson 9th, so he bettered 1 position. Oh, that's because, yeah, they all moved up 1 because as George Russell finishes 16th. That's right. Crazy, crazy stuff. Lewis Hamilton gets an extra point for the fastest day, and Carlos Sainz has another great week for himself, and this week ends up pole to podium in the first place. So as we watch Logan Sargent and Alonso battling for 15th place as they come around on their final lap, and well, we got Logan Sargent just jumped ahead of Hulkenberg. So what happened to Hulkenberg? Interesting stuff. So folks, and of course, none of this is possible without the expertise and brains of Andre Kuhn, our producer, technical guru of all kinds. So thank you, Andre, for all the work you do every week, trying to make me look good, which I know is a very difficult job. So until the next one, which I believe is Japan, this is Jonathan Steele with the Formula One News Hour, wishing you all a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next Formula One News Hour podcast.